How do you find consistent winning player prop plays when sports betting? That's actually a question that I get all of the time, and I think it's about time that I jump in and make a video that goes over my process. Now, we're gonna use a couple sites and a couple tools within this video. I'll link all of those down in the description. A couple of them you do have to pay for. They are paid for platforms, but I do have trial links and discount links in the description. But don't worry, all of the work that you're doing here and everything that I'm gonna show you, you can do manually. You can find it. It'll just take a lot more time and a lot more lifting on your end. So if you don't want to spend any money, this is all able to be done completely free, trust me. But if you want it to be easier and you want to be more efficient, check out those links in the description. Again, you'll get trials as well as discount codes in the description. So let's jump into it, guys. But before we do, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. We're going to be focusing on MLB for today's video because it is the MLB season, but let me know in the comments if you'd like to see this for NHL, NFL, NBA, NCAA football, anything like that. I'm happy to jump into my process because I'm an open book here. I don't want to keep anything from you guys. My secret sauce, my recipe, I don't care if we share that with you guys. Let's all win together. I'm not one of those people trying to get an edge on others. No, we can all win together. There's enough food to go around. So let me know if you want to see some additional content like this in the comments. When looking at MLB player props, there's a couple buckets that I like to focus on, and we'll focus on the offensive side of thing for today's video. I look at the trends, whether it's the last 10, last 20, last 30 games of a player's performance, and that kind of gets an idea going. If he's not trending in the right direction, we kind of stop our research there. And honestly, the best site that helps me do that is Outlier. I have a link in the description for a 7-day free trial, guys. We've been working with Outlier for a while. Really worth it if you do want to pay $19.99 a month after that 7 days. It pays for itself if used correctly. But they make player prop betting super easy. You can see the opening screen here is a trend screen. It goes through and literally identifies trends that you may not have seen yourself when looking into things. For example, we can see this. Anthony Santander here. He has exceeded 0.5 hits in 11 of his last 12 games. Christian Yelich has failed to exceed 1.5 total bases in 9 of his last 10. Soto has exceeded 0.5 hits in 8 of his last 9. It gives you the odds, gives you the rate and hit rate here as well. Makes it very easy, and even goes kind of deeper into, against losing teams, against winning teams, that type of thing. But if you truly want to start from scratch like I do and check out the trends yourself, you can head over to this prop screen. Now, this is going to show you every single player prop that is offered on the 4 main sportsbooks here: FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM. If you only have one of these or 2 of these, you can exclude them and include them as you please. I like to include them all so you can kind of compare and contrast lines. We'll talk about odds later on in the video, but I like to include them all either way. And I'll usually set my minimum odds, meaning the most amount of juice I'm willing to pay, right around minus 160. Now, if it's at minus 160, okay, we may not pull the trigger because it's kind of juicy, but I think it's a good starting point. And this literally spits players out to you right here: how they've trended in the last 5, how they've trended last 10, last 20, head to head against the team they're playing today, all the way back to last year, this season, and then last season. Okay, here are a couple good ones here, but we'll just dive into, okay, Trey Turner, for example. That'll be the one that we're looking at for today's video. We can click in, and like I said, number 1 is looking at the player's trends. Last 10, he's hit this 9 of his last 10. Last 20, it looks like he's hitting 14 or 15 of his last 20 here. 2023 on the season. Okay, it's been a little sporadic, but you can see right in this little section here, he's starting to get hot right at the right time. So far, this would kind of pass the test, and we can move forward with looking into this bet. Now, what do I mean by looking forward? Well, I like to look at them versus the left-handed pitcher or the right-handed pitcher, depending on who they're playing that day. And I can't stress enough how important it is to look at versus righty and versus lefty splits in the MLB. You can literally have a guy that is a completely different batter against left-handed pitcher than he is against right-handed pitchers. That is one of the number 1 things when looking at bases, singles, hits, runs, RBIs, that type of thing. Number 1 thing to look at, guys, after looking at the trend to see if they're hot. And Outlier does that too. We can actually just scroll down and see how he is against right-handed pitchers, or left-handed pitchers, excuse me. On the season 2023, we have Trey Turner, 261 average, and against lefties, actually only batting 229. So this may be something that we're like, okay, let's scratch it off the list. We don't want to look any further because, again, I stress that importance of being better against that hand than you are on the season. That's a huge part of my research process. So we go back to the drawing board here, like this one. Ian Happ, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We see a few green bars here. In his last 10, he's hit it in 9. In his last 20, he's been doing really well as well here. If we scroll down, is he batting better against right-handed pitchers than he is on the season? Yes, he's going up against Logan Webb today, a right-handed pitcher versus righties. Ian Happ's average is up about 13 points there, 261 against 248. So now we have the trends. We have him against the righty split. Let's flip over and start looking at the pitcher, which I love looking at the pitch arsenal here. Outlier also gives you that. Guys, you're already starting to see why Outlier is so worth it. Again, 7-day free trial with the link in the description. But you can find this information on other sites like Baseball Savant. We'll head over there. This is a completely free site. We can search Logan Webb because now we want to know Logan Webb, what pitches does he throw, what percent of the time? And if we scroll down here, you can see Webb relies on 4 pitches. 40% of the time he's throwing the changeup, 35% the sinker, and then 20% the slider. Anything under 20, I really wouldn't give too much credit. In fact, I like looking at the first 2 pitches more than anything. So again, it's changeup and sinker is really what we're going to focus on with sort of a tertiary slider in there. So now let's look at Ian Happ. And we're going to see how he is because we already know that he bats righties better than he does lefties. Going up against a right-handed pitcher, how does he bat against those pitches? Again, we're looking for the righty changeup and the righty sinker. Scroll down here and we can just filter this here. Pitch group, we're going to look at pitches. Handiness, we're looking at the righty, and then we'll say this entire season. And this will then populate in just a second. Okay, so against the changeup, look at that. Ian Happ, 338 average against righty changeups on the season. Against the sinker, 303. So the top 2 pitches that he's going to get his way are looking really good. We can actually look at it from a month-to-month perspective too, if we really do want to, which can help break down, okay, where is he trending against these pitches in general. So in September so far, changeup, he's batting 500 against righty changeups here on the month. Look at August, that full month here, changeup, batting 353. So now we're kind of at a point where, okay, he's trending in that direction. He bats the hand of that pitcher better than he does the other side. And the specific pitches that that starter is going to throw, he loves to crush. This is one that I'm ready to pull the trigger on and kind of go down that path, right? And of course, there's going to be other little bits and pieces you can throw in, like looking at his matchup against Logan Webb in the past, which if you want to include that in there, Outlier also does that as well. Versus Logan Webb, you can see it here. 6 plate appearances, he has 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and averaging of 500 against him. So far, so good for this Ian Happ play. Now if we're ready to place it, we want to know that we're getting the best value there. So now we're going to want to look at OddsJam. OddsJam, another great tool, compares all sportsbooks lines, so you truly do know the value that you have. Why would you buy a car for 20 grand if you can get it at another dealership for 15 grand, right? OddsJam has tons of tools. We're going to look at the sportsbook screen today, but they have a ton of tools over here. I've done a couple videos about OddsJam in the past. Make sure to go check out the arbitrage betting video. It shows you how to profit on a game regardless of the outcome. But here we are. We want to now look at, okay, well, we know that we're looking at Ian Happ over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, right? So let's go ahead and find that and make sure that we're going to get the best value. Player hits plus runs plus RBIs right here. And this is obviously going to bring up a bunch of stuff. So what we're going to do is type in Happ in the search at the top right here, and then we can see it here. So the average odds are -117 for the over. And what we're looking at is -115 on DraftKings. We can keep scrolling and seeing all of these right here. But yeah, not many sportsbooks offering this, which is fine. We still have the average odds. We like DraftKings here at -115. We're getting a couple cents of value there. And if you're new and odds don't really make sense, pretty much the higher the negative number means the more you have to put on it to get the same ROI. If something is -120, it would take $120 to make back 100. So in this case with Happ, the average odds are -117, meaning you'd have to put up $117 to make back 100. But on DraftKings, you'd only have to put up 115. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, if you want access to OddsJam, you can use the link in the description. You get 7 days free and 25% off your first month after that. One of the best deals out there right now. Go check it out. And like I said, there are bits and pieces of things, or you can spend more time looking at something, pitcher hard hit rate, that player's performance in a ballpark. There's tons of things that you can do to either further confirm or further deny the play that you want to make. But this is a pretty good, I would say, intermediate sort of starter session for looking into MLB player props. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that video. If you'd like more, just let me know. I know this is pretty simple, but for a lot of you guys, based on the comments that we get, this is actually something you should start doing tomorrow and become a better sports bettor. But that's all I have for you guys today. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, go check out those links in the description. Again, Outlier 7 days free, OddsJam 7 days free and a 25% discount, Baseball Savant completely free. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.